My name is Tushanna Price, and I'll be conducting a brief interview. If at any point during this interview you feel as if your questions are a little too sensitive in nature, let me know and we'll skip to the next question. Okay?
Sounds good.
How long have you two known each other, and what is the nature of your relationship?
He's my stepdad, and I've known him for 3 years.
Yeah, about 3 years.
How would you describe each other? Danny, how would you describe Maya?
If I had to describe Maya, I would say she's highly energetic, sarcastic, spontaneous, and stubborn.
Okay. Maya, how would you describe Danny?
Bossy. Funny. Sarcastic. Forgetful. And a smarty pants.
It almost sounds as if you two have a lot in common. Would you say that you two had a lot in common?
Nah, I think that's safe to say.
Yeah.
What surprised you about each other as you got to know each other? Give me maybe one or two things that you two initially thought about each other that wasn't true as you got to know each other.
I'm not sure if I was I don't know, it seemed like she was really kind of, at first I thought she was just like really bad. But then as I got to know her, it just seemed like that was part of her personality, and I had to kind of work around it in order to tailor my parenting needs to the way she is.
Danny, what do you mean by pretty bad? When you say...
Pretty bad. Throwing a fit in stores, getting really upset really quick about a lot of things whenever it's not intended to drive her in that direction. She's really short-tempered.
Do you agree with that, Maya? Do you agree that you're pretty short-tempered?
Yes.
Okay. So his assessment is pretty accurate.
Not the throwing different in the stores and stuff.
Okay. What about Danny surprised you as you got to know him?
Well, I thought at first he was quiet. Then as I got to know him, he screams and plays around.
Okay. How would you describe your relationship with Danny, Maya? Do you feel as if you two have a pretty good relationship?
Yes.
Danny, how would you describe your relationship with Maya?
I would say that we have an understanding and that it's a positive relationship, and she knows exactly how far to push me before she needs to stop what she's doing, and she knows how to also make me laugh in a positive sense.
Okay. What have you two learned from each other? Danny?
Most of all, I think I've learned patience. How to accept that not everybody is going to be the the same and do the same things the same way that I do, and that it takes time to be able to steer them in the direction that they eventually will be when they're adults.
Okay. Maya, what have you learned from Danny?
You mean a mental?
Anyway, what have you learned from Danny? Whether it's a lesson or how to do something. What have you learned from Danny?
I learned not to let anybody push me around and how to clean out a car engine.
Pardon me?
How to clean out a car engine.
So you've learned some mechanics from Danny.
Yes.
Do you enjoy mechanics, Maya?
Yes.
Before you met Danny, did you know that you liked mechanics?
No.
It's pretty interesting. How are you two the same and how are you different?
We're the same in that we're both short-tempered. And
Both very loud.
we're both very loud whenever we have our loud moments. And our loud moments are also contagious. Like if she starts acting rambunctious and I feel the desire to let loose, usually me and her will be the solo act, if you will, in partnership to be the cause of a bunch of ruckus around the house.
So you two reap havoc together, is that what you're telling me?
I would say.
Okay, Maya. And that's how you two are the same.
That's how we're the same.
Mm-hmm. Maya, how are you two the same?
Like you said, we're both very loud and we're both smart. And we get angry very quick.
Okay. Is that a trait of both of you that you like? The fact that you two are short-tempered?
No. No.
Okay. What is different about the two of you, Maya?
I think Danny. I don't know.
We have slightly different hobbies, but I would say there's not too much of a difference.
Can you give me an example of hobbies that you two
Music.
She loves music. Well, I love music too, but she loves TV a lot, and I would say I'm not a really, really huge fan of TV, and that's, I think, one of the places where we're different. But there's not really too much about me and Maya that's different. And strangely enough.
Danny, I have a question for you. How is your parenting style different from your parents?
Looking back, I think my dad didn't really care how good I did, as long as I did good enough. And when I see the way I turned out in my mentality and the way I need to push myself today is not how he pushed himself or how he would have needed to push himself had he wanted more out of life. And I know that in order to have things out of life, you have to be able to push harder. And I want Maya to understand that you have to push until you are maxed out in your mind. Like you have done 100%, and you can look back and say, okay, no matter what happened, this is what I gave it, and you won't have any regret because you pushed as hard as you could, and you got as far as you could. And my dad, as long as I got a 70 in school, he really didn't care.
Okay.
As long as I didn't go to jail, he didn't really care.
Dayton or Maya, do you feel as if Danny takes an active part in your education?
Yes.
Can you give me some examples of how Danny takes an active part in your education?
Well, whenever I have a big test coming up and I let him know about it, he helps me study for it.
Okay. Anything else?
He taught me most of the multiplication I know.
Okay. Danny, of all the things you learned from your parents, what do you feel was the most valuable?
I think the most valuable thing that my parents taught me was treat others as you wish to be treated. It's a very simple lesson, but it can be applied throughout your entire life. It's basically the most important. There wasn't very many things that I could take from my childhood and bring into my life today, because it wasn't necessarily useful to me in the way I lived my life.
So it's safe to say that you, as you've grown older, established your own values.
Yes.
It's fair. What expectations do you have of each other? What do you expect from each other? What do you expect from Danny as a stepdad? Danny, what do you expect from Maya as a child?
I expect respect, and I expect for her to understand that there's a reason why I'm doing or telling her to do the things that she's doing. And it's not because I'm trying to be bossy. It's that there is a way that you must do things in order to maximize the efficiency and that will help you in later life, that I had to learn a lot the hard way. And I just think it's valuable information, because since I had to learn it the hard way and no one taught me that, I think that it would benefit someone for me to pass that on to them. I just expect for her to listen.
Okay. Maya, what do you expect from Danny as a stepfather?
To be nice, but also strict, and take care of my mom.
That's fair. Do you feel that Danny's strictness is beneficial to you as a child?
Yes.
In what ways?
Well, it teaches me not to be bad all the time. And do things the first time they're told.
Basically, just to add to that, and then I'll be done, if you obey your parents while you're at home as a child, whenever you grow older and you're an adult, your next higher thing that you have to obey, your higher entity will be the government, the law, the police, the rules that govern your society and the nation. If you grow up as a child disobeying your parents and disobeying the laws that govern their house, when you're an adult, you take that to the next higher level. What makes you think that the laws of the nation are any different from the laws that govern you as a child? It would be easier to disrespect the rules when you're an adult if you aren't raised with rules as a child.
Now, Maya, I asked Danny earlier to name one valuable thing his parents taught him. Can you name one valuable thing, or what you feel is the most valuable thing that Danny has taught you?
Don't speed or you'll get arrested.
I've never gotten arrested.
You told me about that in the car.
I said you can get arrested if you go a certain speed over the speed limit. I never said it happened.
Danny, do you speed a lot?
No.
Yes.
It depends on what you consider to be a lot.
Road rage.
I don't have road rage. Not so much.
Danny, in the next few years, it's safe to say that you'll be teaching Maya how to drive.
Right.
Would you like her to speed?
No.
Because I think I'm more patient.
Maya, when Danny speeds, do you think he's being a good example for you?
No.
Okay. With that said, what accomplishments are you most proud of in your life so far, Maya?
I've never got below a B on my report card.
Good. Danny?
Just being here with the family that I'm here with, I would say is my biggest accomplishment in life. Because where I'm at right now is where I've always wanted to be. And this isn't just in a financial sense, but as a person, I can honestly say that I'm well-rounded in the way I feel.
Okay, so what I hear you telling me is that you feel as if family is your greatest accomplishment.
Yes.
Maya, what would you like to be when you grow up?
Well, I either want to be a programmer or I have to say a veterinarian or a singer.
You'd like to be a veterinarian, a programmer, or a singer?
Yes.
Which one would you rather be? If you could only choose one, which one would you choose?
A programmer.
A programmer. Danny, if you could have chosen any other profession, what would it be? And why wasn't it your first choice?
If I could choose what profession that I was in right off the bat and could have started out doing it, I would have been an automotive drafting engineer to design cars.
Okay. Why wasn't it your first choice?
Because I felt with the the money that my father and mother had, I didn't have a choice but to start somewhere. And I figured aircraft mechanic was probably the closest that I would get to having an understanding of how engineering was.
Okay. What is one thing about you, Maya, that you feel would surprise other people? That you feel is not known just by looking at you? What would surprise other people about you if they were to get to know you better?
That, of course, I'm short-tempered.
That you're short-tempered?
Yes.
So you feel as if most people wouldn't know that just by looking at you or being around you every day?
Pretty much, yes.
Is it safe to say that you're a different person away from home than you are in school?
Yes.
Can you describe to me a little bit about how you are in school as opposed to how you are at home?
Well, at home, I'm respectful and bad. And at school, I'm good and mad at kids.
Okay. Danny, what is one thing that you feel would surprise other people if they were to get to know you better?
I don't really know, because I think that I am myself, and yeah, okay, just be patient. I think that I'm myself, and that I don't really think that they would be surprised at all to find out things about me.
So, what I hear you telling me is that you're the same person at home that you are when you're at work?
Pretty much. I'm just always myself.
Well, with that, I think this concludes our interview.
Thank you.